Hello and welcome to another guy in his room. We are here, everyone. Hello and welcome to another guy in his room. We are here again, January 22nd, 2023.
Welcome to another episode, everyone. And I hope everybody's doing good. Guess what, guys? This just in, Ghislaine Maxwell has no memory of meeting Prince Andrew. Claims photo is fake.
With the fake, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not.
Hold on a second. I didn't know there was video.
A bit an original. And further, there's no photograph. And with the fake, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. Well, there's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph. And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I feel completely divorced from the person that people reference and talk about in all the various newspaper articles and TV shows and podcasts.
We then went to board the plane. We had to walk through business class.
Okay, I didn't expect a video.
With the fake.
I'm actually kind of disturbed by this. What interview was this? I didn't know she was doing an interview. I thought she was in prison still. Okay, so Ghislaine, however you say it, Maxwell, did a video. Maybe that was like this looks pretty real to me. I mean, that looks pretty real to me. I don't really see anything fake about that. I mean, maybe, but like there's other photos of him with Jeffrey Epstein. There's plenty of fucking photos. There's photos of him in the Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. Now here's what I think. Oh, okay. There's a okay, I guess that's from a highly anticipated
Interview called Ghislaine Behind Bars, set to air on Jeremy Kyle's UK Talk TV show Monday itself. So tomorrow, this may come out on whoever Jeremy Kyle is.
Maxwell lifts the lid on. Hold on, guys. I gotta say this the right way here. Maxwell lifts the lid on Epstein, Prince Andrew, and even our late queen. This is Ghislaine Maxwell behind bars in her own words. Yeah, she's doing an interview apparently from behind bars with a weird fake green screen. This is really weird. I don't know. I'm not. But we here at Guidance Room have the scoop, guys. Ghislaine Maxwell doing an interview where it doesn't sound like her at all. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard her. I guess I've heard other clips of her talking. And that does not sound like what she used to sound like. Now, I'm not saying it's a clone. I'm not saying it's a clone. But, I don't know. Now, I don't know why, like, who is this guy that she's doing an interview for his show? Like, what is this? Like, Talk TV? Who the fuck is this? Like, this is the first interview she's done, and nobody's talking about. I randomly saw this on New York Post when I was just going on there, just in case there was some breaking news. And I guess I was not let down. I don't know why, like, who Who is this guy? Jeremy Kyle's UK talk TV show. First of all, I mean, why? What the fuck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm just going to look up her name. I'm going to go on Google, too. I'm going to just look up her name and see if any mainstream media is reporting that she's doing this interview. Okay, Fox News, The Guardian, CBS, Yahoo, no CNN. Now, if we want to talk about a fake photo, it's this one, where she was at In-N-Out Burger. Remember when they were trying to find her? They were trying to, like, she was on the run, quote unquote, and they had this fake In-N-Out Burger photo where she was just staring right at the camera. Like, first of all, it's just like her face part. The rest could be real, maybe. Like, this was a real woman, like, reading a book at In-N-Out Burger. This is so weird. I mean, this is really weird. I don't know why she met the Queen. I don't know why. Apparently, she's trying to get a prison call center job. Oh my God. For a telecommunications company like a Comcast in the UK, apparently. Wait a minute. I thought she was, U.S. prison. She's still in a U.S. prison. Why? I don't believe any of these pictures anymore. I don't like even this one. What is this? I don't know, man. This is so weird. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's the only, not really that many mainstream media is reporting she's doing an interview. I can't believe how little she's being reported on. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein at least would make major headlines, like, but it was kind of just when he got arrested, and then when he died, that was like it. Then they did these fake, like, expose documentaries on, like, Netflix about Epstein. And they never mentioned a lot of stuff. Like, of course, they didn't mention, you know, she's in prison. They have all the information, obviously. They obviously have everything, and they're not telling people. There's just no info coming out. She does seem very, I don't know, like, beaten down. You know what I mean? Like, like, just not at all, like, I mean, okay, so I've maybe heard one clip of her talking before, but this really doesn't sound like how she used to sound from what I heard. I never even watched, like, I mean, I guess I could watch some documentary on her, but I just, like, they're just not releasing any real info. It'll just be like, who's this mysterious madame that helped Epstein that, oh, maybe she was a victim of him, you know? Even though he, like, was just a math teacher and he just got, all of this is so crazy. I mean, if you, like, there's really no explanation, nothing's coming out, and this is the only info we have is just, oh, she's doing an interview all of a sudden on this obscure talk TV show, I guess. So she met Queen Elizabeth. She was hanging out with the royal family. Why? You know? Like, why? What did she do? No one knows. Oh, who's this? Like, oh, it's all mysterious. I guess she was powerful, though. She was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. We all know that. She was at, like, every, like, you know what's crazy is, like, for some reason, every single old picture of any Hollywood gathering, it just has her in the picture for some reason. Just, like, with like, everybody ever was seen with her. I don't know how that happened, but it's almost like the, you know, in the It movie where, like, they go back and see these old pictures and, like, the clown's in it somehow. And she even, it's funny here, she's like, I don't even remember this, like, person that the media talks about. I'm, like, not that person. Yeah, like, yeah, you were probably beaten down, like, prison seemed to messed her up. Like, you can tell. Because she's being fake punished or whatever. Like, she's just like, who knows what's going on? We only have these reports from, like, the media. We don't really know what's going on. Like, this could just be her house, you know? It's just a green screen. Like, I don't think I've seen a single picture of her really in prison. Like, I'm wondering, like, maybe the royal family wanted her to say that's a fake picture of Prince Andrew, because, like, they don't even care about Prince Andrew anymore. He just got, like, you know, Prince Charles just, like, kicked him out, basically, of everything. You know? I mean, why cover up, like, why say that's a fake now? I don't really, you know, I don't see how it's a fake, I guess. I mean, you can even see the flash going off in the window in the back. Like, I'm no photo expert, but yeah, I just don't remember her. Like, I just don't. Like, let me just play that video again. It's so weird.
I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. Well, there's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph.
She reminds me of that, whoever that guy that played Gandalf. That's who she reminds me of here.
And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I feel completely divorced from the person that people reference and talk about.
I mean, I just feel...
And all the various newspaper articles and TV shows and podcasts.
Why is it, she sounds like she lost her teeth or something. What is this?
We then went to board.
Why is no one talking about this? Like, why isn't this all over the news? Like, it's just this obscure TV show that's gonna have her on? Like, what? Alright, apparently there was a massacre, guys. I mean, sorry to break it to you guys, but there has been a massacre today, again. You know what's sad right now is the fact that I see a shooting or a massacre and I go, here we go. Like, I'm annoyed instead of like, oh my God. Like, they have, what is going on? Like, I mean, one theory I have is that, like, people really don't, like, there's not serial killers now because of the DNA technology is too good now. I just can't believe that no one's really talking about it. I had no idea that was really going to be a video of her talking now. Like, there was no info about it. Remember when she was first, like, going to trial? Like, I think it was in, you know, around COVID, and that's what delayed. They said, you know, that's what did. I don't believe anything anymore about anything. I mean, I'm just so, like, jaded, like, with politics, with everything. Like, I just don't, like, they clearly are purposely not putting info out about her list or her recordings. She clearly had, you know, like, Mossad, whatever, was working with her and Epstein. I mean, there's all the, like, I don't know, if you ever want to, like, hear crazy shit, like, look up Maria Farmer talking about being tracked down by her. Like, she left Epstein, like, and nobody talks about this late. I don't know why, but I know she was in one of the documentaries that about Epstein. But, like, she talked about, you know, after she escaped Epstein, Ghislaine would just, like, randomly call her and be like, we know where you are. And, like, I don't know how she would have that info, but she would. And she would, like, I mean, she clearly had ties to, like, maybe the Mossad or some intelligence, like, maybe American. I don't know. Maybe the CIA or somebody. Who knows what the CIA does? Like, nobody knows what the FBI and CIA do. Like, we all know what Biden's working on. We all know what the government's doing. Kind of, because you can hear, like, oh, Congress passed this bill, whatever. But, like, who the fuck knows what they're doing? Like, what are they doing other than trying to get someone to kidnap the Michigan governor. Now don't cancel me. Don't delete my episode, guys. Like, what the fuck? Why is there nobody talking about this? Look, Fox News, The Guardian. That's not even American media. That's News Nation. I don't know what that is really. Sky News is talking about it. That's it. Daily Mail. That's like almost okay, ABC. I don't know who. Okay, I guess Bloomberg reported it. That's sort of that's like a mainstream. Now, maybe CNN's gonna, I don't know why. It's just like been in general, nobody's been talking about her. Like since she's been in jail. And we just all accepted, well, nothing's gonna come out, I guess. Nothing's gonna come out, you know? You know, it's like everybody should have kind of woke up when Snowden came out. But people just don't care, you know? I mean, sorry for making you guys listen to a guy in his InfoWars this time, but, listen.
It's a globalist agenda. I mean, the globalists are there meeting at their Davos forum, and you're just sitting there drinking your coffee like getting your Starbucks. Well, guess what, guys? We got the lady. We got an interview with her from jail.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives, you know. Oh, what is Beyonce wearing lately? That's what everybody wants to know instead. What is Beyonce wearing? And now they're all reporting that like that's a fact now. Oh, look, the Prince Andrew. Oh, she said it's fake. I guess it's fake then. I guess that photo's fake. Prince Andrew didn't do it. I don't believe it's real for a second is her quote. Well, I believe it is real. So, I mean, what is that? What kind of weird thing to say is that? I don't believe it's real. Where's the original? You could say that about so many pictures. Where's the original photocopy? I mean, I don't know. Who took the photo? We don't know. Like, we don't know anything about you or Epstein. Prince Andrew was an idiot, like, to say the least. I mean, oh, now she's saying, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know about this. I guess she did an interview for a special that aired on Paramount Plus. I didn't know about that. Why? Because no one reported it. That's why. You would think this huge scandal, like this is the biggest thing. If they would actually give out the info, imagine that would change everything. But that's not going to happen because I don't even know what would happen if they really released like, okay, like, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, what do you think would happen if they really did release a list? Now, I don't really think the being on the plane was as big a deal as some people think. Like, okay, we're on Epstein's private plane. I mean, it could have been like, I just kind of was thinking like some of the people on that plane might not really, I don't know, like, I just feel like in Hollywood and that kind of thing, you're just like, oh, we're all going here. You want to come with? And then you just get on the plane and you're just, I don't know, you know? Like, that's kind of how it's just everyone is. Like, oh, where are we all going to the party? And then, like, you end up somewhere. You don't really know where it is. I mean, I can see that happening. So I don't really think the flight logs is that big a deal. I mean, I think, well, I mean, okay, so that's a little bit of a big deal. Like, I do think it's shady, to say the least, that you would literally go to the island. I mean, like Bill Clinton. Like, no one knows why he was going there. I mean, we know why he was going there, but people pretend to not. Oh, he was just. So what? He went to the island. Doesn't mean anything. Now, really, what I would want is. Like, now she's saying, like, she's trying to say, meeting Epstein was the biggest mistake of my life. Well, I mean, just the way, like, if you look up anything about her, like the victims from Epstein talk about her, she was like the ringleader. I mean, she wasn't, I don't really get it, like, I don't really get it at all. Like, I guess kind of they were just like a big blackmail operation. Like, that's what they were for. Like, it was like, I'm going to go to the Epstein's islands or mansion so I can just do whatever the fuck I want, like with girls doing whatever. And no questions asked, like, and you just kind of, so I could see some people just going to events with him, not really knowing exactly what's going on, like, I don't really think everybody that was seen at a party with her in the photo, or like even on like, they went on the plane. I don't really think they all were doing stuff. Like, I think if you go by yourself like Bill Clinton did, like, you knew what was going, like, you did something there, like, I mean, maybe kind of was just a brothel type situation, like, and I don't know if they knew exactly, like, who knows what went on? We don't know. But I'm just saying, imagine if they not only had a list out, like, because they definitely have recordings. I mean, if she was working with Mossad or, like, intelligence, like they said, and I'm not making this up, this was like a lawyer in Florida when Epstein had his first trial, like the guy was like, oh, I was told he's intelligence, like, and that's not like a made up thing. That's like really what he said. I mean, so okay, let's say he was working with intelligence and she was too. Then they probably do have recordings of, I mean, just imagine if that was literally released, like, just imagine if that was just like, we're just putting it all out there, like WikiLeaks kind of thing, like, just imagine if it was literally released, like, not just like in an article saying who was on it, but like they literally released it, like remember the fappening? Remember the fappening? The fappening? When all the celebrities had their nudes leaked. Remember the fappening? This wasn't that long ago. 2014. They still have the website? Wow. I am against that existing. I am against them stealing those photos from people. I mean, everybody at the time was just like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome, dude. What is the fappening? Yeah, so in 2014, August 31st, a collection of almost 500 private pictures of many celebs, mostly women, with many having their nudes, were posted on 4chan. Oh, that's where it was, okay. And then shared on websites and social networks. It was initially thought that somebody hacked iCloud, but apparently later it was just phishing attacks. So that wasn't even iCloud. So it wasn't iCloud, and Apple got blamed. I don't understand how it happened. Like, did somebody? I actually thought at the time, like, that some of it was people that actually like knew or got the nudes. Like, it was some guys that maybe hooked up and let leak all those nudes. Like, I mean, just imagine if. Well, I guess maybe this isn't a good comparison. I guess WikiLeaks is more like what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not really talking about nudes. Well, okay, you know what? Maybe I am, though. Just like, imagine if just pictures were released. You know what? I don't know. People kind of just don't buy into stuff now unless it fits. Like, look at all the Hunter Biden. Well, okay, I don't know. Just say there was just, like the fappening. Maybe there was like a big collection of just everybody that went to Epstein's island, or like it showed them with underage girls, and it had the client list, and it just listed all the clients. You know, there was like fucking so many. Can you just imagine what would happen? I guess I'm wondering, like, would people think it's deep faked? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they would try to bury it, like with Hunter Biden. Like, remember how Twitter just buried the story? Like, they didn't let it, like, they literally banned the New York Post off Twitter. That would happen, although not Twitter, I guess, because Elon Musk is. Just like, what would they do? I just can't imagine. Some people would deny it. I think some people would actually say, I don't know if I believe that. It could be deep fakes or something. Say we had the literal, like, logs of everybody that went and dealt with him and went over there and did stuff. I mean, we're talking about probably most people in Congress. Well, not the women. Most guy leaders, Bill Gates for sure. We already knew he was like buddies with him, and that's bad enough, but like he's fine. Like he still speaks up and gives his opinion about COVID. Like we're supposed to listen to him now. You know, I'm just imagining who else. Jeff Bezos I could see. Just like really powerful people, like a lot of politicians, a lot of big CEO types. Just imagine if that was released for real, you know, and they just had undeniable proof. You'd get some people burying the story. You get some people saying it's faked by like a right-wing conspiracy type thing. But I think it would be really bad. I don't know if I think people are even that. People are so jaded now, I think, that like, I don't know. Like, are people protested out a little bit? Like, are people just sick of it? Are people sick of protesting? Like, would people freak out? People act like people would freak out, like, if we had, you know, like, undeniable alien evidence. Just say we had actual aliens show up on, like, fucking the news and, like, literally speak to everyone. It's like, first of all, I don't know. Where would that break? You know what I mean? Because, like, the mainstream news is, like, getting way less ratings now. But I guess that would have to be where it is, or, like, something like that. You know, like C-SPAN. C-SPAN just had an alien show up. What would happen, you know? Like, what? What would happen? Just think about that, guys. Welcome to the pondering. Just pondering about what if stuff happened. Podcast. What if that happened? What would you do? What would we do together as humanity?
Just think about that, guys. What would you do if otherworldly beings came down? And they literally came down and said, we have to stop the steal. What if they came down and were politically divided?
Hey guys, listen.
We've been watching you, okay? We've been watching everybody. And, look, I mean, gotta tell you something. Trump, 2024, guys. Stand back and stand by, everyone.
What if they were on one side or the other? What if they took a side? We've been watching. And we also cannot believe what a fascist. Well, I don't know. What would people do? People act like people would freak out. But I don't really. I mean, look what happened with COVID. I mean, yeah, people. All right, so I guess I don't know. I'm like kind of divided on it. On one hand, I think people are so jaded. On the other hand, everybody rushed and bought toilet paper when COVID happened. And we ran out of fucking everything. We ran out of bread in every store. We had empty lanes of everything. So, like, but that's kind of just like one of those like reactions, like, oh, that's the initial reaction. But then everybody kind of adjusted and became divided. So that's what I think would happen. No, I don't think people are going to buy. That would be kind of funny, though. If everybody rushed out and bought toilet paper like it was a storm. Well, look, we're obviously going to be taken over, so I better go get my essentials, I got to go get my eggs and bread there. We have the Zeta Reticuli aliens coming down here. What would you do? Oh, I'll tell you what this guy would do. Now, this is a saint on earth, guys. Me and my friend have been talking about... well, I have to... Okay, like, I'm really confused about Lex Fridman's popularity. Now, I'm not really gonna be shit-talking him, like... I don't know. I don't really, like, I'm not strongly against him, because at least he pretends to be open-minded and whatever. But this is one of those guys where it's like, somebody recently on the Glenn Greenwald podcast, who he's a reporter that, like, he broke the Edward Snowden story, and now he's like kind of not promoted in the media. But he had somebody on talking about Lex Fridman and like why they were both kind of like, and I've heard no one else ask this question, but just why is Lex Fridman so popular? I mean, he's like, let me just look up how popular his podcast is. There's like several things that I'm confused about with him. First of all, my friend alerted me to the fact that he could be a con man, fake, like, who knows if he's just making up his accomplishments, like, and before that, I guess he sort of annoyed me sometimes, like, I just didn't really know anything about him, but then, like, my friend kind of just woke me up to, like, wait, why is this guy, the way Rogan talks about him, the way people talk about this guy, it's like he's a genius. But, like, I've seen and heard nothing. I just don't understand his... First of all, I get his podcast appeal because he has lots of people on and just asks some very boring, vague questions. He doesn't really... He's easy to understand. He just has people on and they talk. So the guests are why people listen. Kind of like Rogan. I mean, yeah, Rogan has, like, the most popular podcast or whatever, but, like... It's really just about the guest. It's not about him, It's just... That's one thing where people don't really get that. Like, I don't really get even the appeal of being a podcast where you just have people on and that's it, Like, because then you're not even getting your thoughts out there and expressing yourself. It's really just about the guest every time you have somebody on. I mean, number one... His podcast is number one on Apple Podcasts in Great Britain in technology. Number 69. I mean, all podcasts in the U.S. Oh, I can't see it. So he's way up there. He's really popular. His podcast is huge. I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, as soon as Rogan, like, started talking to this guy, like, he acted like this guy's a genius kid, and that's kind of what I thought about him before I even listened to his podcast. Like, the way Rogan acts about him, I was like, oh, who's this? He must be like a whiz kid. But then there's, like, no evidence of him really doing stuff, like, other than, like, I guess he published stuff on, he, like, published articles or whatever. I don't know what he did. I mean, what are his accomplishments? Like, okay, he's a research scientist. So I've seen a lot of, like, people on certain Reddit groups, only on, like, the Tim Dillon one, do people criticize him. If you go to his videos, if you go to his Instagram or his Reddit, like it seems like it's all fake comments because it's so over the top. Like he's the most amazing genius ever, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, it. Like I wouldn't talk about anyone the way his fake comment. Like, and I have come up with the. I do kind of think he has fake comments now, because like they're so over the top. And people say he's like deep and insightful, and I just don't like. It's like if you think about it, like how like just say what has he said that's that so deep. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, I haven't really like followed him enough to really have an opinion on him completely, but like I don't get how he's so popular. I guess it's more that like he seems to have fake comments and he apparently blocks people and like can't take criticism. So it makes me think he's like honestly like duping people. Like he's making people think he's a genius, but he's not, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm gonna just look up on like the comments on one of his videos to show you what I mean. I mean, he does like he also does really douchey stuff. Like he he like will play a song on guitar and post it on YouTube and act like. And then all these comments are like acting like he's a musical amazing genius, and it's like very just mediocre, and like he doesn't sing, he just melodically talks over it. Like, oh God. Like he's just I don't get it, He reads 1984 and that's one of his videos. He just reads it. I guess that's like deep. I mean, yeah, he's just like annoying me. He's really annoying me lately. Like look at this. Oh, he did a Pink Floyd solo. Yeah, this is here's the caption. I don't know if I can imitate him really. My first time putting. Let me see. That's more. I was doing an Eddie Vedder. Let me see if I can find a clip of him saying something. I hate how he intros every podcast. He's like, the following is a conversation. Like, I don't. It's really annoying.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Is this thing working?
This is working.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I don't think I've ever been this nervous in my life. I'm terrified of talking to one person. And then there's more than 5 here. If you can invite people, that would be great. But I'll just start talking.
Is recorded. If you choose to, you can choose to record it. And what I've done everything from a free-for-all, which is a bit chaotic, and I don't recommend that. But what is really good is if you just keep it between you and your the person you're interviewing, and then you have a third person that can take questions from the audience. It's pretty powerful because you get
I don't
so
know.
many
I've never
questions.
done this before.
And I love the Twitter users out there. They're wonderful. Sometimes they'll kind of go on for a little.
Like, look, cause you see look how like smart he is. Cause first of all, he wears a suit. I don't know if you guys can like handle that or whatever. Like some props goes to him for that, because like not everybody can wear a suit in every podcast. Like not even just like sometimes if you're doing a lecture, like a podcast episode, he wears a fucking suit. Like what? Like what? Like, I mean, you lost me. I can't do that. I mean, I just can't. No, I'm not gonna make fun of his really. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, he talks slow, he talks whatever." Like, I can't really like act like I'm the most smooth podcast person. I have to edit my podcast to take out pauses and if he doesn't do that, then I guess Well, I mean, yeah, you have guests on. You don't have to. Well, I don't know. I've had to edit out, so I'm not like the most smooth talker either. But he does act like he is a really good speaker. Like that's kind of the way he presents. Like, oh, I'm a great presenter. And I'm not. I guess I'm not trying to make fun of how her personality is. Just like the fact that he kind of acts like he's like an expert, and he, you know, like trying to be cool like this is really douchey and annoying. And he gives me that vibe, like he's trying to be cool. Like I'm not trying to act like, I'm not really trying to make fun of him like how he is really like naturally, but I think a lot like he tries to be cool, and he, shouldn't do that. Like just be yourself. I think he duped a lot of people. I mean, Eric Weinstein, who you would think is a really smart guy. Joe Rogan like acts like he's really open-minded and stuff, but he's been duped by people. Like he talks about Lex like he's a genius. He thinks Brandon Schaub is an interesting guy, But just like, I don't know, I just don't I just get he's putting on a facade, and he's not just like trying to be cool. I don't know how old he is. But I just feel like everything he does is a calculated trying to be cool thing. Like I'm gonna play guitar and upload it to YouTube. Like, okay, like you can kind of play a Pink Floyd solo. I mean, okay. But like then he gets this crazy praise. Like, and I get you have fans, they're gonna praise you, but like look at these comments. I'm sure, and he does delete and block people on Twitter. I've seen that on Reddit. Like he's a really sensitive person. But you can be sensitive, but you don't have to block it and pretend. I wonder if he was nervous about, I don't know what this is, Twitter Spaces. I don't really get what that is, but maybe he was nervous because anybody can go on that. Is that what that is? I don't know. Maybe that's why he was nervous, because somebody could actually be honest and call, Like somebody could have trolled him. I don't think you can take that. It's like a discussion I'm doing. Like I just like how is he a deep guy? Like I don't like look at all these comments on his solo. Holy fuck. Michael L 2 years ago. Holy fuck. PhD AI researcher at MIT, black belt, podcast interview host, and musician. You, sir, have my absolute respect. Christ, I need to go think about my life after this. Lex, I'm a retired guitar instructor of over 45 years, and I have to say your guitar playing was very good. I don't know. Is that a fake one? Imagine if he makes bots for these over-the-top comments. Because a lot of them are like pretty similar. Like, look at this: PhD, black belt, hours of genius content, and shredding. I mean, because you would expect like some kind of trolling or critical comment on some of his videos, but there's like never one. They're always over the top. It's like when you go see a review on Amazon Reviews and it looks like it's a fake review because it's like over the top, and it's like generic. It's like, it'll be like Simon T from Massachusetts says, "This product changed my life. Thank you. Could never, my life has changed since buying this." You absolutely killed it, says Random Hero 651. If your podcast career doesn't work out, you always have a bright future as a musician, said Bugs Bunny 2 months ago. If it doesn't work out, he's like one of the top podcasts. You mean if it stops working out? How come all the comments are always like, had no idea you played guitar? I mean, who hasn't tried to play guitar at some point? Like most guys in the world, most straight white guys. Well, I know he acts like he's, I don't know what he is, Russian and Jewish or something. Most guys try to play guitar at some point, if they're all at all into music. So like him playing guitar is not even close to shocking to me. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I figured, you know. A lot of the times, like when I've seen clips of his show or him on a podcast, he just will be like, Jimi Hendrix is great. The following is a conversation talking about Jimi Hendrix. He's like really good, like amazing, like musician, just like, and it's just stuff like that. And I'm like, this guy's like the top pot. Like, I don't really get the whole, like, he's really deep and intelligent thing. Like, if he did show stuff he did that wasn't, like, middle skill level on guitar, then I'd be impressed if I saw real, like, AI stuff he did or whatever, even though I'm, like, scared of AI. I was going to talk about that this time, but I don't know that much about ChatGPT or whatever it's called. This is the first time I've heard Lex play. Damn, bravo, sir, says Chucky Brown 5 months ago. Lex is cool on, so this is like, I'm going to just like start. Here's some other comments, hold on. I didn't know, wait, he's partially deaf, I didn't know that. How talented is this guy, man, says Amance, whatever, 2 months ago. I guess I don't really have a robot effect. Hello, 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 hello. I am a I am a robot. Hello, everyone. I am Lex Fridman. Hello, I podcast. How talented is this guy, man? Is one comment. Lex is truly amazing, says Don Day 2 months ago. Let me click and see if he has a profile. 3 subscribers, no videos. Well done, Lex, says Miles Deer 4 months ago. Really good job. I love all music. You did great, says Terry Richards 4 months ago. Honestly, this might be one of the cleanest covers I've ever heard, says Jay from 2 months ago. Oh, this is interesting. Somebody had a negative comment response to that one. Awful compressed tone, no emotion in his playing, just like his podcast. And then Jay responded, Your comment is irrelevant. It's still one of the cleanest covers I've ever heard, no matter your own personal opinions. Crying emoji, crying emoji. Learn how to read. Did I say cleanest cover ever done? Hand on face. Either way, his podcast is more successful than anything you've ever done. Crying emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji. So keep hating from your basement, says Jay, or Lex. I mean, Jay, real human being. The guy with the negative comment responds back, You're mad, LOL. I'm not reading all that. Then Jay, real person, says, You don't read much of what you replied to, huh? Crying emoji, 5 crying emojis. Wow. That does seem like a bot now, this Jay person. Let's see. I'm going to go to their profile now. Okay, they have real videos on here. Maybe they're like... I mean, maybe these people are real. I just don't see how they're all the same kind of comment. Oh, this is crazy. Gregory Schroeder says, Holy crap, you are a virtuoso genius. Well played. How is he a virtuoso? What are you talking about? He's such a renaissance man. He played a video game in another video. Now I stumble upon this. Truly a renaissance man among creators. Like, okay, so I do think he's trying to be like Joe Rogan or Elon Musk or something. Like, I think he's kind of... Now, maybe he was like this before, but Joe Rogan also gets into a lot of different stuff. Like, he does martial arts, UFC, works out, talks about working out all the time, stand-up, does the podcast. So he kind of, like, was one of the first at least comedians that, like, does a bunch of different things. So maybe that's what he's trying to do. Like, oh, I play guitar. I also am a black belt. Like, and who knows? Like, I almost feel like that's a con too. Maybe not. I don't know. But like, I don't see any other video. Like, all he really does is play guitar in these videos. Like, I don't ever see him do martial arts. I actually think it's an okay version. Like, I think it's okay. Like, yeah, I mean, he really does come off like he's a robot. I mean, I don't really get my first time putting music out in the world this way. Writing and playing music has been a creative refuge for me. Throughout my life, provided some breath to focus rigors of research. It's my birthday, so I decided to take the leap and play one of my favorite solos from Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. He always does those like dramatic pauses. Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. The following is a conversation with my guitar. I did my best to stay true to the David Gilmour original. When it's finished, and then put marshals at the same time. What? What'd you say? Joe Rogan. Thank you, Joe Rogan, for giving me a career. I play video game another. Everybody like on the Tim Dillon group is like, oh, he's a virgin. He's like, I don't really think that would matter. Like, he could have sex with 20 women tomorrow, and like he'd still be the same guy. I think. I don't think everybody acts like getting laid is gonna change someone. Like, oh, you just need to get laid. I don't get that whole mentality. I mean, I guess it could make you less grumpy or miserable. That's what I think. I think it makes me in a better mood maybe, but like I don't think it makes you like. So if somebody's being an asshole, I could see you saying that, but somebody just being awkward or whatever, I don't like. Oh, you're gonna get laid and you're gonna just be like really like way different. I don't get that. I don't think he could change like that. I mean, one reason you know this guy's deep is look, he has this keyboard back there. He has a poster of 2001 back there. I mean, so you know he's like a really deep guy. He also wears his suit a lot. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but he does wear a suit a lot. Okay? I don't actually have a suit. I wish I had a suit because I was going to try and do like a video of just him. Me introing my podcast like that. I guess I have a blazer. I could try to do something, but I don't want to buy a suit just to do that. Now, like, I just don't think he has ever said anything where I'm like, how is he lifted up like this, you know? Yeah, if somebody was like, I guess if you really thought he was an actual, like, I don't know. If you really thought he was like a scientist, like if you really thought he was really smart about something, like, oh, he made this accomplishment, and then you saw him do this, I could see how you'd be impressed. So maybe that's why he has so many comments, like, oh, you're an amazing Renaissance man. What does that even mean? What's a Renaissance man? And like his questions, like, is like he's just trying to sound deep all the time. He's like, what about like, you know, well, like, what if love was like a thing, or I don't know. And you're, oh, I'm gonna read 1984. Why would I want it? Who would want? Who would want him to read an audiobook?
There was truth and there was untruth. By, perhaps you could say, forcing you to hold contradictory beliefs and accept them as true. If not, the thought police arrest you for committing a thought crime. Examples of doublethink are war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. And finally, the party constantly rewrites history. As the quote goes, who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. There are several ministries, 4 of them. Ministry of Truth is responsible for propaganda and like I said, rewriting history. Ministry of Love is responsible for brainwashing people through torture. Ministry of Plenty is responsible
The
for rationing
Ministry
food,
of
supplies, and goods. And Ministry of Peace, of course, is responsible for maintaining constant state of war. Society
guy's so
is divided
deep, man.
into three levels: the inner party, the outer party, and the
I
proles.
could like this isn't like just the way he's talking. Like I don't think he's smarter than me. Like I agree with all this. Like it's just basic though. I don't get why people think he's a genius. Like that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not even trying to like if he was just like more like I don't know, self-effacing maybe or just seem like but he like wants people to it seems like he wants people to think that he's really a smart genius guy, you know. But like basically reading a Wikipedia article about 1984 like I don't like it would be like reading a Cliff Notes like it's like and also like you know how he's deep is like see this camera angle right here that's different from the other one, you know what I mean? You guys might not get that, but like he's like one camera angle is a sort of side view and the other one is him directly looking, so like and that's like that gives a better like greater meaning to what he's saying, like you know what I mean? If you're like fasting, I like to do fasting and I use a fasting app to let you fast. I think one reason people think he's smart, honestly, is because he has a slight accent. Like if he was just an American dude, but the fact that he seems vaguely like an immigrant, and I don't know what or where I don't know his background. I've read stuff about he gave like a lecture at MIT, which anyone can do. Apparently, rappers have given lectures. It sounds like a TED talk or a TEDx talk where anybody can do that. But then if you do one of those, you can kind of act like you're smart. Like if I did a TEDx talk about anything, I could just put that on my LinkedIn and be like, I'm a lecturer. I've given a TED, like, you know, Sam Hyde did one just showing how stupid they are, basically. Like, he just did one, and it was just nonsense. But then, like, guys like this can just kind of be very generic, like, and talk about 1984, which, yeah, I like, this is stuff I could say about the book, you know? Like, you're basically saying, like, he's talking to people like that have never read the book. I guess if you have never, you know, if you want a very basic approach to stuff, maybe that's why it's so popular. I don't know. And some people have said he's he's CIA. He's, and I do wonder why he's so promoted. You know, somebody tell me, like, is he connected to the CIA? Like, what is going on? Now that might be giving him more credit than, you know, people might think that because he wears a suit and he has a vague accent. But if I had a vague accent and Lex Fridman and I play comfortably, no. Right about double think and all police will come get you if you have a thought crime. And that is when you think something the state does not want you to think. They will have you arrested.
Stands for, I guess, proletariats. It's the working class.
This is
The inner
working
party's
class.
tiny, the outer party's a little bit bigger, and the majority of the people, I forget what the percentage is, maybe 80% is the proles, the working class. There's several key characters. Winston, the main character, is a low-ranking member of INCSOC. He works at the Ministry of Truth, where he rewrites history, like I mentioned. Julia is a dark-haired girl who Winston falls in love with, and she with him. They have sex, and this is maybe a good place to mention that passionate sex, love and passionate sex are forbidden in this society.
They have sex.
I think is a term under Newspeak, hashtag good sex, is the kind of sex that leads to procreation, which is the only kind of sex that's allowed and the only kind of sex that's good. O'Brien
I don't even
is
remember that in the book.
another central character.
I think he
He's a
made
member
that part
of
up.
the inner
Julia is dark-haired girl that I jerked off to. And they have sex, which I jerked off to that part in the book, and I'm glad he had to share that, like that they had sex. That's pretty cool that he shared that part. Yeah, I mean, did he not read this book before? Why is he explaining this book? I had to read this in school. I mean, no shit. Like, why are you explaining the basic plot of this? Like, maybe if he did like some kind of take on it compared to how the society is now or something. But like, what? I'm probably gonna get like I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nobody watches my YouTube videos anyway. So if I did get a notice about this, it doesn't matter. You have a truly unique voice. Well, that's true. I guess he got a lot of hate because he had a book list that was very basic. Like, and yeah, this is a book that everybody reads in fucking middle school. Like, why does he need to? And I'm gonna put captions up. Like, when I say the names of the characters, I'm gonna have Winston. He's the main character of the book. See how it like lights up? I don't know if you guys knew that, but like,
Good sex, I think, is a term under newspeak. Hashtag good sex is the kind of sex that leads to procreation, which is the only kind of sex that's allowed and the only kind of sex that's good. Of the party, Ingsoc, and Emmanuel Goldstein is the leader of the so-called Brotherhood, which is this supposed mysterious group that lurks in the shadows.
I'm glad he's explaining this. I couldn't figure this out myself. Oh, now he's going to talk about love, which everybody always makes him fun of him for. He's like,
the horrible thing about the 2 minutes of hate was not that one was obliged to act a part, but that it was impossible to avoid joining.
If you read stuff slow like this and
dramatic,
dramatic,
was always unnecessary.
you just get a huge following, you know. His ecstasy of fear and vindictiveness, desire to kill, torture, smash faces with a sledgehammer, seemed to flow through the whole group of people like an electric current, turning one even against one's will. Oh my god, what is the point of this video? I'm doing an essay basically on like, I'm sick of these two, not just Lex does these. A lot of people do these like video essays on stuff, like how, like, but usually they have like a, I don't know, overall theme. This is just like, oh, I guess he does talk about it applied to today. I mean, this is just not deep at all, like, but a lot of people do these kind of video essays like about stuff, like about a video game or a show, like how this means, and it's all like just made up whatever. I don't really, like, I'm annoyed by those now because it's like you can just kind of pick and choose whatever. Like, The Wizard of Oz is actually a horror movie, and then it shows like the weird parts of Wizard of Oz with like this weird music over it. I don't know. I should start doing those though. I should start doing like just book readings. I'm gonna start doing like essays about like, I don't know, but I will say that like, look, he does put the words on the screen, and that's one thing TikTok does that like, it's really annoying is like these kind of short videos, they always have to put the text big, like nobody knows how to hear something.
Its relevance in our society today, because a lot of things like 2 minutes is another aspect of human nature.
Look, this is like the one angle. Like, this is the, like, he's looking at the camera angle. But then watch soon. Now, one thing Lex does that not a lot of people do is the camera angle is going to change, okay? And it's going to, like, be close to his face, but on the side. And then he's going to have the text come in. Watch.
And the tendency.
He paused there for, like, effect.
Of that power to corrupt.
Yeah. There we go. Here's the other angle, guys. Boom.
O'Brien says also, the weariness of the cell is the vigor of the organism. Through the torture of the individual, through the breaking of the individual, through the death of the individual that doesn't exist according to.
Yeah. It's kind of rough to see Lex. Oh, it's he got mocked because all these books are so basic, I guess. That's so basic. Man, he's so annoying. Like, he's just something like comes off like semi-douchey about him. Like, hold on, let me see, because I saved this Reddit post one of his Instagrams. He did this Instagram. He went to Ukraine when that was first happening. He just like posted a picture of him with like these burnout buildings in the background, and he like has this serious look on his face, like, and he just like had to go to Ukraine. He had to go to Ukraine. I had to go to Ukraine to show what the fuck is happening. I'm so like, dude, that's so deep. I can't, dude, did you hear Lex went to Ukraine? He just went there. And he took a selfie in front of the burnout buildings in Ukraine. I wish like one of the Ukrainian refugees went up and just fucking hit him and just fucking went like, dude, what are you really taking a selfie right now in front of our burnout buildings that just got bombed, you fucking douchebag? Like, you can be a fan of Lex, I guess, but I mean, you gotta admit this is fucking douchey as hell. This is just like when I went to the 9/11 memorial site a couple years ago, and there was like people taking selfies in front of the. I mean, that was bad enough, but this is like, this. It was so fresh at the time. We just got into the Ukraine. Well, we didn't. We kind of are, but that had just like happened, and he just was like, I had to go to Ukraine. And I remember at the time he kept talking about, I want to have Putin on the podcast. And he was like really thinking he was going to get Putin, whatever, on the podcast. And he didn't. But like everybody started, I think that's when people started to mock him. And like, but dude, what do you, like, who do you think you are? A world fucking like, here's the thing. Like, he really thought like what? He was going to talk to Putin and solve the conflict himself? Like, fucking douchebag. I wish he got fucking hit in the face after this. How great would have that been? Can you imagine being a fucking Ukrainian who just got bombed and you just see this asshole taking this selfie and looking at the camera deep with this deep look on your face? Fucking look at this. Just look at this. And this was the caption. He was like, I had to take a selfie and I went there and I saw hundreds of destroyed Ukrainian homes today and spoke with people who lived through the hell of it. Amid the pain in their eyes and their words, to be empowered, human spirits shines through. The things I saw and heard today will stay with me forever. Amen. Wow, dude. Thank God you went there. Thank God Lex went to Lex went to Ukraine, everybody. Okay?
Okay? Now, did you take a selfie in front of burnout rubble buildings? I don't think so, buddy.
I went to Ukraine and took the selfie, okay? He should have Eddie Vedder on and see how they both sound. I listen to music. I actually did play Elderly Woman Having Whatever in a Small Town song. I actually did learn Daughter beginning on guitar, on acoustic. It is a pain in their eyes and their words. I'm sure he didn't even talk to anybody. How do we know he talked to somebody? I saw hundreds of destroyed Ukrainian homes today. Hundreds. Oh, maybe he did a helicopter tour over it. Hey, could you take me to the... Could I do the Ukrainian tour over the rubble? Unbelievable. I mean, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Ukraine, whatever. Like, what a fucking idiot. I took the selfie in front of the buildings. I took the selfie, okay? And I was listening to Johnny Cash at the time. Johnny Cash wrote this down in the song. I went down in the ring of fire, burn burn, take me high or something like that. Yeah, so it's also a song that says, you know, he did that song Hurt by, you know, he said, I hurt myself today, just like I have before. Something, something. It was deep and profound. They came out and they hugged me and they said, thank you for the selfie. Thank you so much for the selfie. We had all this funds coming in from the U.S. for our troops to get more, like, fight off the Russians. And then you came in and swooped in with that Lex selfie. I just want to thank you for that, because everybody needs a Lex in their life, okay? If you're going through something like you had a bunch of Russian soldiers to bomb your building, we can't all get the Lex selfie in front of it with the caption that says, the things I saw and heard today will stay with me forever, okay? But he did it. Yeah, this is the only Reddit that mocks him. In the Tim Dillon one, somebody said, the beauty... The beauty and power of the human spirit shines through is one of the fruitiest things I've ever heard in my life. Sounds like something a 7th grader was writing an essay. Yeah, I agree. Good job looking upset for everyone, Lex. Oh my god. Fucking douchebag. Thank God he posted a selfie. Imagine your home being blown to nothing. Imagine your home being blown to nothing by nuclear power, and then this robot comes through to ask how you're doing. He is of Ukrainian Jewish descent, born in Moscow. Well, okay, so which is he for? He's never for anything. He never picks an opinion. He just is like, I just have everyone on. I'm just love, man. It's weird that like war didn't stop after he took this selfie. That's what I'm wondering. Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you believe that Putin is so evil that, like, he noticed probably that Lex, like, I don't know if he noticed, but somebody should tell him. Like, does Putin know that, like, Lex took the selfie in front of the buildings? Does he know that? Because, like, you would think, I think, honestly, if Putin saw this picture, he'd stop, because, like, that profound caption, and that, honestly, that profound expression on his face, even though, like, does he... Oh my god. Does he think he's making an expression? Because that's his expression in every picture, you know? Like, is that him trying to look upset? What is that? What is that, you know? I'm upset. I'm very sad. Really? You look like the same when you are happy and you make the same look. Put anything, you could put a tropical paradise beach in the back of this, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's Lex's normal, you know. This is a profound sadness. The following is a conversation with me and burnout buildings. I went up to the buildings and I asked them, why? Why did you do that? What is this suicide? Is that what's that? This is why. This is my conversation. Ukraine, Russia. This is how we know. Yeah. Yeah. Amid the pain in their eyes and in their words, the beauty and power of the human spirit touched through. Did he talk to, somebody, like, did he even talk to one citizen? We don't know. We just have this caption to go by. And we all know in the age of the internet that no one lies and makes up stories for the internet clout. So that's good. I don't know, dude. This guy's too popular. People aren't going to criticize him because they might want to get on his podcast. And, you know, anybody posting this, I would say, is douchey. Anyone. Even if I loved them as a person, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if I went to... Ugh. God. All right. Anyway, watch Lex Fridman because he wears the suit, guys. Anyway, check me out next time. I'm gonna have to go to Brooks Brothers or somebody and get my wardrobe fixed up. Well, that's more effort than I put into my podcast. I mean, I really should probably try to groom myself before I record these, but nobody watches the video, so fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? 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 Sometimes I wonder if my neighbor hears me record this and it's like, what the? Well, guess what? He would know I'm deep because I wear the suit. Yeah. So go ahead. Everybody go find a burning building. Find a bombed down building. The selfie. Take the selfie.